This is a little trick to make sure you haven't got any leaks underneath the bath. I think I need one of them, you know, them little canisters, the green canisters, so you put it in and squirt and it puts a little dot there. There's this cardboard. There you go, perfect. All we've got to do now is just pop it back upstairs, pull the bung out of the tank, fill this radiator up. There's a small damp bit of water here. Had a look under here, it was dripping off the bolts that hold the cistern on. So, in turn, obviously took the cistern off, and this is the culprit. You know, usually they're quite hard and rubber ones. We've got the electrician coming, we've got the carpenter coming to sort the door out.
Talking to yourself again?
Yeah, look, the electrician's turned up. So let's address a little issue that all of us as tradespeople worry about, and that is tool theft. That's set there. You're not going to believe I've done it in one, but I did. Dave Grills. I don't know. Oh, look at that, look. That'll be perfect. So, I'm pleased to say we are now back on the bathroom renovation. It seems like this one has taken quite a long time to get done, and the reason being is we had the Jubilee weekend, which took 2 days out of the schedule for this, and also the plasterer was ill and was off for a couple of days, so that threw us out by 3 or 4 days. Also, just consciously that you don't want people in the house all the time, and you know, they were doing different things because it was a bank holiday. This is what happens sometimes on jobs like this. A little bit goes a bit skew-if and it can throw everything out, but we are now with a completely tiled, painted, obviously plastered bathroom that looks really well. So we're going to have the complete freestanding bath there, taps there, centre of that window, basin here, toilet here, and towel there. But loads of people have said in the comments, why could you not got a 4-inch under the floor? You ain't getting a 4-inch under the floor where the joists are running that way. Why did you not go out the wall round? Because that is the front of the house and it would just look horrific. Obviously every avenue was thought about and that was the best way to do it. And the customers chuffed to bits because now they can use that as a bit of storage and whatnot to go on there. So let's start getting some kit in there and begin the fit out of this bathroom. We'll start with the taps going in and then the big freestanding bath. Right, we're going to start fitting these freestanding taps. We'll get these in first, ease into position, and then the bath can slide into it, and it just gives us more room to do the basin, the toilet and the towel rail. So I've just took the tops off these taps. Obviously that's going to be on the top, and you've got these legs that sit on it. So this goes back to when I first fixed it and said you need to have plenty of movement in it. So they're obviously going to be bolted down to the floor. So you're not going to get any fitting inside there or get to any fitting inside there, but we've got to get swivels onto the bottom of these taps. So with that in position, we've got movement. We've got movement on that 15mm pipe, and that is why the forward thinking of it, to make sure you've got enough movement under the floor. So what we can do, we can cut this probably at this point here. Just take it off quickly to show you. What I'll do is cut that, put a coupler on it, then up into a 22mm swivel, and then we've just got that movement. So when that shroud's on, we can move the swivel and get it tightened up onto the tap, drop the tap into position, and then that will be completely fixed. So we'll start with putting them two in and marking up the plates on the floor and getting them drilled and secured into position. But also, today is Thursday, and if you remember back, depending on when this video goes out, you'll remember how hot it is. So I've got the trusty old fan out the garage to keep us cool. There's nothing worse than being in a room like this when it's red hot, or even a roof. So a little top tip, always keep a fan on the van. So let's address a little issue that all of us as tradespeople worry about, and some of us will have suffered from it over the years. I know I have, I'm sure a few of you have, and that is tool theft. Tool theft in the UK is a massive issue at the moment. Vans are being done over constantly, tools are being nicked off sites constantly. So I'm going to show you a new app from a company called Armed and it's basically a tool inventory that you upload all your tools to, serial numbers, receipts if you've got them, pictures of them, and they're all stored within this app. Armed also offer an insurance cover for the tools, but the app will also work alongside your current insurance company, because you can have a database of what tools you've got, what the cost of them are, and you can just transfer that over to them. So all you've got to do is download the app, this one here, the Armed app. It's a free to download app. As soon as you download it, Armed will give you a £5 credit to be able to be used in their tool store. So all you've got to do is spend a few hours uploading your tools. You know, when you're cleaning your van out, lay your tools out, take pictures of them, upload them to the Armed app. They're all in there stored. So just spending a few hours uploading all your tools into the app will save a lot of time when it comes to, God forbid, your tools ever getting stolen. And also, when you sign up to the app, you'll also get a sticker come through the post. If you stick that onto your van, upload a picture to social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, use the hashtags, hashtag stick one up to tool theft, hashtag protect your tools, and hashtag get armed. And I'll also put the link in the description, so make sure you click that link. Armed will also put another £20 worth of credit onto your tool store account. So with the Armed app, they've also got a tool store. Any tool that you buy from their tool store will automatically be uploaded onto the Armed app inventory. So I've got my Milwaukee drill here. I've got to add this to the database, so I'll show you exactly and talk you through exactly the process of adding that into it. So just open up the Armed app, go to add tools at the bottom. So then just click the add tool button, and then product name, so Milwaukee combi drill. Make Milwaukee. Model, it is the M18 combi drill. Choose category, so go down to power tools. Nickname combi drill, 18 volt. Estimated date of purchase, I think I bought this in, let's say, June 2020. Place of purchase, I know for a fact I got it from Screwfix. So serial number, I'll dig that out because it is in my paperwork. Price paid, I think I paid 180 quid for that drill. And then done, and then just click save and next at the bottom, and it will save it automatically into your inventory. Take a picture, so just click the take a picture, and let's just hold that like that. So you can even take a picture just sat in your van. You can sit there, if you've got the tool out on the job, just take a picture of it and save it. Save and next. So that'll automatically be added into your database. It'll give you a purchase price of all your tools, and then, as you can see at the top, an estimated market value. Then once you've done that, just go into your inventory, pull up that drill, scroll down to where it says proof of purchase, add proof of purchase, and just take a selfie with that drill, just so that it proves that that is your actual drill or your actual tool that you're putting into the Armed app. So for me, the Armed app is perfect to store all your tools in, and it just gives you that little peace of mind. If ever the worst case scenario happened and your tools got nicked, you've got somewhere to go to, and they'll pay out for your tools. So don't forget, download the Armed app, start banging your tools in there. When you get your sticker, stick it on the van, take a picture, and Armed will put another £20 worth of credit onto your account. So massive shout out to Armed for developing that app. I just think it's going to really work well. You can just add tools as and when you get them. It's just that easy, that straightforward. So yeah, nice one, Armed. So that's the tap into position, and I've just marked, as you can see down there, into where the plates are going to go. So we'll whip the taps off and get these drilled. As you can see, obviously we've got hardy backer board underneath these tiles, and obviously the floorboards as well. So we'll drill these out, and then we can screw in firmly, get that fixed so it is fairly solid. You always find with these taps, because of the length of them, if you bolt them in properly, they don't move. They have a little bit of movement on them, but as a rule, they're fairly good when they're bolted in. Okay, so this is how we're going to connect the bath taps. There's 22mm feeding both of these pipes here, so before anyone says you've not got 22mm to the bath, it's feeding up to there, so that's not an issue. So we've got the coupler on there, we've got the swivel on there, so these legs will now slide over to that point there and bolt into the floor. And then what we've got poking out the top is the swivel, which will connect onto the bottom of the tap there. So if I offer that one in place like so, and also this one, we'll go over. So now, as you can see, we've got both swivels sticking up at the top of these sleeves. And then now, the tap can go onto the swivels like so. And then, same with this one. I will tighten them up, but then they will just push down. Like so, connected in like that, and then obviously the grub screw, we'll turn the grub screws so they can't see them, but there, and then bolt the taps down, and then that will be them in and connected up. So that's the way that I connect them taps up with the collars and the shrouds on. It's a little bit fiddly, but worth it in the end. So there we go, that's the taps in, bolted down onto the floor. I haven't got the water back onto them yet, but they're in position and nice and sturdy as well. So yeah, we've just got a little bit to come off the side onto the top of the telephone, but we'll do that when the bath's in. So now we're going to get this freestanding bath in. It's going to be a bit of a pain, I think, because this little bit of the staircase is a bit awkward, but I'm sure we'll be fine with it, hopefully. Touch wood. Right, there we go. That is that bath up and into position. It's just in there loosely at the minute. We've just carried it up and put it into position, but that just looks brilliant. It looks amazing there. But yeah, it was millimetre perfect getting around there, getting up here. But yeah, no, these heritage baths, these heritage freestanding baths, really, obviously I've got to level it all up and that yet. But there's nice thing with these is there's a good bit of weight in them. A lot of these freestanding baths that just stand there, you can tap them with your leg and they'll move. Whereas these heritage ones, with the weight in them, they're pretty solid. So that's going to look brilliant. Toilet there, basin there. Right, so levelling these freestanding baths is probably the hardest thing to do with them. So what I've done, I've propped it up this end so that I can get underneath. I've measured the height of the legs all round, making sure the floor's level. They are pretty much spot on now. I've just test fitted it in. So what I'm going to do now is tighten up all the nuts, so lock them in effect, and then offer it back in and just make sure that it's absolutely stable. Then we can tighten the trap up, put the flexi on and connect it into the waist. But yeah, it's usually a two-man job, but as you know, I work on my own, so I've propped it up with that. That's my second man for the day, I suppose. My Fat Max screw box. So yeah, we'll get under there and tighten them all up. So there we go, I've locked all the legs in. Now that is absolutely solid. And as I said, a good bit of weight in these, so it's not going anywhere. Right, we'll lift this back end up now, get the waist connected onto it, drop it down, get it tested, and I'll show you a little trick of how you test the waist are all right on these. Don't know if you can see, I'll poke this right up. I've connected the flexi waist into the elbow over there, so when we drop the bath down, that will all be in position, and what we need to do is just to check that the waist isn't leaking underneath. So what we do is cut a bit of cardboard, slide underneath the waist, and then when the glue's gone off on the elbow, we'll run the bath up in a couple of hours time and just make sure that there's no leaks underneath it. This is a little trick to make sure you haven't got any leaks underneath the bath. So we just slide that underneath where the waist is, like so. Then we'll drop the bath down, put it into position, make sure that cardboard's underneath the trap, and then when we run the bath up shortly, we'll be able to check, see if there's any marks showing on that cardboard underneath there. So while the bath's going off, we can start concentrating on getting the toilet in. So I've just pushed it into position, marked up where we need to drill the holes out here and here. I think I need one of them, you know, them little canisters, the green canisters you put it in and squirt and it puts a little dot there. I might see if I can pick one of them up. But yeah, mark the bottom, mark the top. So we'll push the planning system out of the way, get these drilled, get the walls drilled, get this back. That's another one ticked off the list. That's this pan in now. We've just got to screw the bottom bits down. What we've had to do here, now I came out the floor with copper onto a isolation valve here, and then we've gone up in chrome, and the only fitting I could get that was going to look good with the chrome was another isolation swivel. There's no issue with it, basically it's just 2 isolation valves, but you know, at the end of the day it looks a lot neater than that, than putting a copper swivel on the top of a bit of chrome pipe. So that's the pan in. We'll turn the water onto it just to make sure everything is all okay. If I can find my screwdriver. So let's get the water on to this pan. It's just filling up, system's filled up. Perfect. No leaks, we're all good. We're all good to go. So we'll get the seat on, get the lid on, that's that one done, and I'm then going to check the bath, make sure that's alright, get it running, and just check the cardboard underneath is nice and dry. Right, let's test this bath then. So it's all been in, it's been in for a couple of hours or so the glue's gone off on the waste, everything should be fine, and let's give it a go. Let's just go straight in. So remember, we've got that cardboard underneath the bath, and what we can do, we can always just lift the bath slightly just to check that everything's alright under there. So we'll just run it up for a little bit. It's running out somewhere, it's going somewhere. We've had the bath running, I've jacked it up, and there's this cardboard. There you go, perfect. Perfect way to know whether you've got a leak or not. Just leave under there, just for my own peace of mind. We'll test it for the rest of the day. But yeah, I know that'll be alright. So making good progress. As I said, bath sorted, toilet sorted, and we'll now get the towel rail in. We'll get this into position, screwed to the wall, and then what we'll do, this one is perfect. We'll just bung the tanks, cut it, and then just drop the valves on straight into position there. But first off, let's get it mounted onto the wall and into the floor. So I've offered that into position. I've marked up the 3 points on each of the legs and the 3 points on the wall. So we'll get these drilled out, get this fitted, bolted to the wall, and then we can sort out the valves. So just been up into the roof, bung the tanks on this heating system. So what we're going to do now is cut, well, first of all I'll take the cap end off, and I've got the aquavac gear ready and a towel. I know full well there's not a lot of water comes out on this, so we should be okay. Right, that's that one done. Just spin that round, make sure that's off, and then we'll do the other side. there we are, both of them done. So all we've got to do now is just pop it back upstairs, pull the bung out of the tank and fill this radiator up. Right, bungs are out, let's turn them valves on and vent some air out. Here we go, all full. So there we go, that's that tower out done. So there we go, end of play today. Baths in, taps are on and working. Toilets in, connected up. Towel rails on, connected up. We're just waiting for the basin to arrive. So the customer purchased the basin from an online bathroom company. I think it was Victoria Plum or Victoria Plumbing or one of them. Anyway, they had one delivered out that was smashed. They told them, not a problem, we'll send you another one. Delivered a second one, smashed. Not a problem, we'll deliver you another one. Yeah, third one, smashed. So I've gone to Dave at Plumbase, said, look, can you get this basin for us? Because you know full well that you'd like to think that they're going to deliver that basin a lot more carefully to Plumbase than they are in the back of a DPD van or whatever it is. So that should be rolling tomorrow, so then we get the pedestal basin on, mirror on, and then the sparky will be back to do the lights, pull cord, spotlights in the ceiling, and we've got to put the threshold strip back on the floor here, and we're probably going to have to trim a bit of the door down, to which I think it's an oak door, so I'm going to speak to someone that was on the channel this time last year, Dave Grills. We'll get Dave Grills back out to trim the bottom of that door, so then it will come together and it'll be finished off. But yeah, it's looking very nice at the minute. So it's Monday morning, we're back at the bathroom renovation. Hopefully today should be the last day of getting everything in, finished off and sorted for this bathroom. We've got the electrician coming, we've got the carpenter coming to sort the door out, and I've just got the basin to go in. So just got here this morning and Stuart said, yeah, looks brilliant, but he just pointed out to me, obviously this has been on over the weekend, there's a small damp bit of water here. So had a look under here, basically it was dripping off the bolts that hold the cistern on. So in turn, obviously took the cistern off. So as I said, I took the cistern off, and this is the culprit. You know, usually they're quite hard and rubber ones. This is just a foam, crappy foam one, and it's just squashed up so much and deformed out of shape. So we're going to bin that one off, and I'll pick a proper decent rubber one up. I thought I had one in the van, I've just checked. I haven't. I must have used it and not replaced it. So we'll swing out at some point, get a proper donut for there and get that back on. But what we can do in the meantime is get this basin on. So we'll start obviously by making the taps in and putting the waste in. As always, I'll silicone that in because I don't like using the washers. But this, on this plug, nice little touch in white heritage on the actual plug itself. So I like that, yeah. So we swap the basin for a smaller one, 500, just so it doesn't overpower the room there. So we get this made up and start fitting it. So that's the basin into position, as I've said. What I've done, I've connected the waste. Now, I'm going to apologise now because I fitted it and completely forgot to film it, because with these, you get to a point where you're like, right, once this is in, it's in. So I'll talk you through exactly how I did it. What I do, I pull this pedestal out, offer the basin on the top, and then screw the pedestal trap to the bottom, and then mark the nut just on the edge of the pedestal there, then offer that into position, and then mark the waste pipe for the cut. Then cut the waste pipe off, fit the pedestal trap directly to the waste pipe. Then when you push this into position, you've just got enough to get your hand into here to spin the nut onto the waste. Now, if ever there's an issue with these, they're a right pain in the arse to get sorted, but that's tightened up all right. So hopefully we're good to go. And what we can do, we can pull these pipes out to get to. We're going to put isolation valves on there, then tuck them behind the back of the pedestal. You're not going to see them. And then pipe up internally. And then what I'm going to try and do is get copper all the way in, and then just put a swan neck on the bottom and solder some swivels on the bottom of the taps just so that I can get it really tight up into there. So what I'm going to do is bend that pipe from that swivel just up there and get it in. So we're going to go there, we're going to put a set on it so it comes down into these fittings here. Now I always just bend it by eye and hopefully it'll work.
Talking to yourself again?
Yeah, look, the electrician's turned up to put some lights in. Surprised he's not on holiday.
Not yet, next week.
Next week?
Next Tuesday.
It's like Judith Chalmers, this boy. So that's set there. You're not going to believe I've done it in one, but I did.
No, it's not in.
And you can just see that tucked in the back there. So you ain't going to see nothing. Look who else has popped up on the channel, look. It's Dave Grills. Dave Grills is back. Without Dave's salad now. He's knocked the grills on the air.
Salad bar only, I'm afraid.
Just a Dave the rabbit. Yeah, so Dave's come to just trim this door off a little bit and put that threshold in. And look, I've got an electrician literally on my shoulders here. Raving. So I'll offer that one into that swivel there and just put again another little set on it. I'll film this one because you probably think I
got someone else to do it.
Got someone else to do it, yeah. See if I can just get it by eye again.
No chance.
So don't know why, I can usually eye them up quite well. Let's have a look.
Nowhere near.
Nowhere near. That is up there. Oh, look at that, look. That'll be perfect. Perfecto. Just tuck that in there. That there. Just trim the excess off there. It's all in the eye. So this threshold was obviously on the floor previously and it was probably about ½ an inch down. So what Dave's done is just built that up so now it's flush with that tile there. Lovely job, Dave.
Beautiful. And Nick's fitting the pull cord.
Yeah, Nick's got a pull cord, technical job of pull cord.
Yeah.
And if Nipex want to send Nick a new pair of cutters, because they're about 36 years old by the looks of it.
Just feel free.
Yeah. So I've just been and picked up a better donut for this system. Obviously look, the ones that comes with them foam crappy ones. So that can go in the bin and we'll push that one on. Like so, and get it put back on here, bolt it back to the wall, turn back on and test it. And hopefully we'll all be good to go. So there we have it. That is that bathroom completely done and everything is finished. I'll take you in and show you. So we've completely ripped the old bathroom out. We've replastered, reboarded, took the lath and plaster off half of the wall, redone that, completely skimmed the room out, new electrics, lights, wall lights, pull cord, because they wanted an old style pull cord in there. We've got an old towel rail, old vintage looking towel rail. The bathroom is like a nod back to the Victorian bathrooms. That's the one we did before, if you remember. So once this one was completed, I'll pop a link up into the corner to the background of this bathroom. But once that was done, we then moved on down into this bathroom and it looks pretty good if I say so myself. So the main feature, the big massive heritage freestanding bathroom, that was the main thing that they wanted inside this bathroom. And we got it centre of that window. Originally the toilet was there, basin there, and the bath was down this wall. So we switched it around, bath there, heritage telephone style taps directly in the middle. It's a nice deep bath. And what you've got is the angles on each side, so you can use it. A lot of these new baths, they're just vertical, which, you know, got nice heritage basin to match with the taps. And what I like with this, even the plug, it's got heritage around it. It's the little things. Nice mirror with the 2 lights, and it just works with that door as well. I think it just looks really good. So that's me tucked right into the corner. And then, obviously we've got the toilet there, the box in there with the saw pipe in. We had to box around it because you wouldn't want to send a saw pipe out through the front of the house. It's not going to go under the floor. But customers chuffed to bits with it. They can put stuff on there, do whatever they've got to do. And finally the heritage towel rail that just works with the room, goes with the tiles, the metro tiles on the wall, the colours. They've got a nice unit to go in there and some drawers. So yeah, I'm just really pleased with it. Got the downlighters there, really works well. I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. So if you've enjoyed watching the whole process of this bathroom coming together, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and drop me a comment, let me know what you think, because I think this looks brilliant.